just completely, how could this possibly be happening? We've been together 35 years. I thought we were really happy. He told me he loved me. So when an affair is discovered, oftentimes the first thing is shock and disbelief. It can be hard to let the information actually absorb, just questioning, is this really happening? Like, it seems like a nightmare, especially if you felt like your relationship was in a good place, if you thought that you were getting on really well, if you thought that things were running quite smoothly, that if those things were happening prior to you discovering the affair, you can bet that it is so breathtaking, you're completely disoriented. Shock and disbelief can stay with you for quite a long time. That can happen for months and months, and depending on how long your relationship was, it can even go on for over a year. Obvious emotions that come up during this early stage are feelings of anger and betrayal. So anger and betrayal, of course, are really prevalent emotions in this. How could you do this to me? Women often feel really deeply wounded and hurt, and the breach of trust is something that women talk about all of the time. Will I ever be able to trust anybody ever again? Or I don't even trust myself anymore. How did I not see this? This can lead to lots of really, really intense anger towards the unfaithful partner, and of course the person who they had the affair with. Something that surprises me often is people are generally more angry with the person who their partner had the affair with than they are with their partner, which I find intriguing, because your partner is the one who holds the responsibility for the relationship. Your partner is the one who is doing the deception and the lying and the secrecy, not the person necessarily who they're having a fling with. So it always does surprise me, I must admit, when people are more angry with the person who their partner has had an affair with than they are with their actual partner. Once anger and betrayal have kind of bubbled up to the surface, they come and go. So there's periods of time during what is a grief process where anger will come up and it'll settle down, anger will come up and it'll settle down. And in those settled periods of time, sadness and grief can take a really strong hold. Discovering that your partner's having an affair can lead to just profound sadness and a sense of loss. Mourning a relationship that you believed you knew, and a person who you believed you understood, and they understood you, and they love you, and they would never hurt you. The devastation of the emotional intimacy being completely lost, and that lack of trust being front and center all of the time. So oftentimes the grief and loss isn't just about, they've had an affair, which is deeply distressing. It is, especially if it's later in life, if you're over 40, 45, 50, even in your 60s, and sometimes I get women in their 70s who will say to me, it isn't just that the relationship is gone, because that's bad enough, but we were ready to have a new chapter. Maybe the kids had grown up, maybe we'd decided to retire soon and we were going to go travel together. This was supposed to be our time, and now they have chosen to have an affair after we've done all of the hard work. So there can be deep sadness, not just around the fact that a partner's had an affair, but also around the loss of what you believed was coming next, how the story was going to continue on.